Hi guys, today's craft or challenge will be using these styrofoam eggs or balls and things that we can make with them. So I have, of course, some people were really interested in Skypey here, my bird, and this is paper napkin on the styrofoam ball. I also added paper napkin to a cone beak. Some legs were made from magazine paper, and I hot glued some bottle caps, old bottle caps actually. They actually have cork in the bottom of them instead of the rubber. So that would, it helps him, he stands up really well. So, and then I put, used cereal boxes or whatever for his tail and wings, and I put paint on the inside. Nice brown paint on the inside, as you can see, and then like on the outside music paper, and then I highlighted with some gold and bling for his eyes. So that's one thing you can make, birds or characters with the styrofoam ball. The type of styrofoam I used for him was this. This is a different kind. The type I did, and it's a little bit bigger. Was this type here. I just didn't grab another one exactly same as him. So this is the egg styrofoam that I got for the Easter's coming up. So this is what I did with the egg. Excuse me. So I made this little topiary tree. And I wanted to make it egg shape instead of round because I was wanting to use the egg something other than just an egg, so I wanted to do the tree. I put a dowel in there. Everything here is from the dollar store. Even the wire that I made the bird from right here, I made a nail polish bird. As you can see, he's on, oh there's, he's forward. He's on the tree, showing his little feathers. So the wire I got from the dollar store. Probably most of the nail polish I got from the dollar store on the bird too. So everything here, yeah, dollar store. The dowel underneath here. The washi tape from the dollar store. I put washi tape around here. And it's the Paris washi tape. I believe it's from the dollar store. I could be wrong about the washi tape. The little pot and the moss. And I punched out flowers for this guy. I used this Martha Stewart punch from Michael's that I bought, and he had the flowers are double of these in the, okay, you see my inky fingers, in the rust color, and then I left the pale, it's like a cream color cardstock I used for the center, and then I have like a sparkly nail polish that I used for the very center black, because I want that sparkle that I found in the nail polish that I liked. So I just dipped it in a toothpick, dipped it into each flower. So that's how I made the flowers. You can do the same thing with any kind of you know, paper hearts or whatever, something different, but I want to do something different. I want to do one like Skypey, you know, bird or any kind of other critter. So with both of these, I did cover them up with tissue paper. So I'm just going to show you a little bit what I did here. So I just grabbed my Mod Podge, grabbed, and he's a little bit wet, my brush, because I keep it soaked in the water. I had to throw all my other brushes because I let the water go down too low and dried out my brushes. So I just throw Mod Podge all over my egg. And that's what I did with the flower one too. I put like a pinky, it had some dark edges. It was a Valentine actually, napkin, paper napkin, and of course you can see that Skypey here, that says her name or whatever, is nice, looks like porcelain. blue and white. I love that. So, and then you just put Mod Podge and paper napkin all over. So whatever you do, if you decide to make it into a little character, it's all covered. You can even just put some paint on it or whatever, and then you don't have the white showing. And I like that. I picked this up, this paper napkin at the dollar store today. Actually, I really loved the pattern. So some of you guys may see it in Happy Mail coming eventually, because that's a really cute, I love it, really cute pattern and color. The color of the green is really nice. Anyways, this would have been a nice color to have for the tree too, but at the time I just bought this today, so I didn't have that particular kind. It took me almost 2 pieces of cardstock to cover this with flowers, and I inked each flower except for the very center. So that's how many flower petals I had to do. It took some time, but it was fun. So not everyone's going to have a flower punch. That's why I want to do something different with the topiary. I really want to do that. And then I want to give an option. You can even put one just like that. And because this is a really nice green, you can do that old trick that that teachers used to get us to do when we were younger, where you put the little tissue paper on the end of a pencil and stick it on your project, like, I don't know, to match the colors of whatever it was that we were supposed to be coloring in with the tissue paper. And you could do that too. You don't have to have the flower punch. So you just tear, you could cut little squares, or you could just tear the tissue up and do that. And I think that would look like a nice little tree. For the inside, to hold up the dowel, I have like a half circle inside there. I had to cut it up to get it in there properly. But, and then I just hot glued the moss on top. And then I was thinking he was missing a little something, so I added a bird. So I decided to make my nail polish wire bird for something different. So he was invented. You can do lots of different creatures with the nail polish and wire. So he's still a little damp here, and I was just going to find, oh, here it is, my knife. Make a little X in the bottom of my egg, and push my dowel in there. Try to make it straight. And there we go. Now we have the beginnings of another topiary type of egg. Now, I was saying, I'm going to dry this up a little bit more, and I'm going to show you guys what we can do. Actually, I probably don't even need to dry them up more. So you can just put them into a flower pot. Grab another egg, and I have a little saw here. Sorry guys, I forgot my little saw. It's a handy little saw, and I found it in a little dollar type of store, and good for styrofoam. I've used it for a lot of things actually. It's actually surprisingly really handy. So you can cover this all up. You don't even have to buy anything special more, because you get a pack of eggs or whatever. So, or you know, a pack of balls or whatever shapes you want. You can get. I think you can even get some heart shapes at Valentine. So you got your egg, and now you have this part. You're going to hot glue the bottom afterwards, but you can just leave it like that for now, because now what we're going to do is just do the old-fashioned type of thing where, just closing my book I was reading, where we do the end of our dowel or the end of a pencil or whatever, grab a piece, we can rip off some pieces. If it looks too messy for you, then you can just grab some pieces, make some squares, and cut some squares out just like the ones they did cut out for us in school. And you can do this in any color too, right? There's lots of floral pattern tissues, napkins out there. So then I'm just going to do the same old thing that we did when we were kids, and I'm going to make a little, remember we had the little paper plates full of glue or whatever, I'm going to make a little puddle of glue right here. And I'm just going to do that. So this is another way, if we don't have flowers, we just twist it around our dowel a bit here. Dip and go. It's going to look really cute once we get a whole bunch of them on there. Dip and go. So we have I have these like about inchy size, but it doesn't have to be precise. You can trim them down after. And of course my little egg is not solid in there, so I'm going to make sure I don't wiggle my hole too big. But it's going to look really cute once it gets all the way around there, and then you can trim it down. And if you use like a tacky glue or school glue, it's going to be very solid on there, and you're going to be able to trim it up, and when it's dry, no problem. So this is a great way if you do not have a flower punch, or you even want to just give it a try because you like the idea. It's pretty cute. And then you just fill it up with cut up strips of paper or some moss or Easter grass, because now that is out at the stores. And yeah, I also add, before I add the grass, try to add some, you can add some ribbon, you can add washi tape's convenient because it's sticky. And you just wrap it around there really nice. So whatever colors go with what you're going for the scheme. So you could do this with round. You could do a longer piece of dowel. You could do an egg shape below and a nice round shape on top. Or you can even do smaller balls with egg shape round to make it look like a cool, you know, different shape. So that's another thing to do with your eggs and balls. I guess I should not call them that anymore, because I could just picture Anne-Marie laughing her head off. Your spheres. So not all of them are going to be the right shape, because this one's more rectangular, but I can trim it down later. And just keep going and going. And going. So I'm going to keep working on this, guys. So I'm going to stop the video and keep working on it, and then we're going to come back and see how it looks. Okay, guys, here it is, all done. What do you think? Pretty cute. Looks like a little tree, and that was just, again, putting it on there. I had to trim a little bit of it. Some of them were a little, was almost getting a little wonky with the size of my squares, but not too many of them actually. I just had to trim a couple of them, and I just went around and trimmed them like this, and that was it. Like that. So now you can make a topiary tree, you know, like without you having to have a flower punch. You could use a flower punch and add a few flowers here and there. And yeah, so that's a good project to do. So now we're going to work on a quick little bird. So now we have the other project here. Sorry guys. I just covered this ball. I actually went with the same size as Skypey just because I didn't want to go bigger, and I covered it with some Valentine paper napkin. So to show you how I made that one. So the different things that we can make with styrofoam balls, or spheres, just for fun. Number one thing I decided to do was put some legs on mine, and I do the magazine wrapped instead of the dowel because I thought it was lighter, and I have, you know, a pile of these, and it's nice to use them on something else other than, you know, just something else to use them on. So I'm just going to push it in here through. It's pretty strong. I'm going to put the other one kind of wherever. We'll figure out the way to stand them up after because we're going to position the bottle caps in such a way that it will hold. Then you just kind of figure out the height of your guy. So we have the height, and then afterwards we just kind of position the feet to counterbalance the ball, the sphere. So then you kind of, if you're, you know, it's hard to explain until you just kind of do it, but if your ball needs to have more footing on one side, you put the cap further onto one side, like the front of your feet, how you have the front of your feet a little bit longer than the back heel part of your foot. It's kind of like that. So you just kind of figure that out. Also, I made a cone beak for this guy. So what I'm going to do for this one here is try to make a cone beak. So just kind of go with it and curl it and kind of pinch it to making a cone beak, so it doesn't have to be. You can cut the paper cones shape first, whatever works for you. So and then you just play with that. So now I decided to make it about that size. It's a little larger. I'm going to probably make it a little smaller, but you can always make it smaller, but you can't make it bigger after you cut it, and then you have to kind of cut another piece. So to kind of figure out the size that I want to play with it for a little bit here. And get your hot glue or your tacky glue, whatever you like. Put something in it to kind of not burn your finger. And there we go. Sorry guys, all that noise. So, I'm not sure if I used hot glue on the original for this one here or not, but this is him. And now I just want to determine the size of the beak that I want for this one. And the angle and that kind of thing. Do I want a bigger beak, smaller? So then you just kind of cut your beak down. Which angle do you want your beak at on his face is important. So if you cut one side down, you know, and you kind of figure out if you want his beak up, down, that kind of thing. Figure that out, then you just Mod Podge some paper napkin on here for some character. And that's what I did with mine. Then I just hot glued his beak on. So get your Lady Gaga finger on here. And whoa! And grab your orangey yellow paper napkin or whatever, it doesn't have to be. And yeah, get a nice beak on. This one was a little bit more of a yellow, orangey beak that I picked for the napkin on that one. So just go for the brighter colors that you want or whatever. You don't even have to put that much on there. You could put very little napkin. It's just whatever you want. You don't have to put any. I just liked it. It covered the edge and the tip a bit. And I liked the character it gave to my bird. So that's why I decided to put it on. Am I in the shot? I don't know. And that is that. And we have a Carly visitor coming in. And there is his beak and Grandma? And yes. And there we go.
What?
There's his little beak. So then you decide where you want. No. Where you want it. You just kind of. I'm going to throw some. You could add, after you hot glue it, if you decide to hot glue it, you can add a little bit more beak to it. Whatever to, paper napkin to it to cover any hot glue if there is any to cover. So now I have the beak, and this one's got a bigger beak than the other one. It's more of a crane. And then I'm going to put a nice blob of glue on the one foot and decide that it's pretty even. So I'm going to quickly put another blob on the other foot because now I moved it. And then you just got to let it cool without wiggling your guy on your bottle cap. And I just kind of moved my glue, so I'm just adding a little more to that one. And it's easy enough to remove your bottle cap if it didn't position correctly. And play with the weight of the beak. It's nice to put the beak on while you're doing this, because I mean it's not like a huge hard thing to do, guys, but it does pull down some weight. The wings and the tail feathers are not bad, so. So you just gotta let that cool off. There we go. So now you want to add tail feathers. You can add a real feather, you can add a paper feather, and bling eyes. Whatever you want with your eggs and stuff like that. If you can do egg-shaped birds as well, but I wanted to do them a little different with the tree. So there's the tree. So that's my challenge, guys, just to play with your styrofoam spheres, eggs, whatnot, any shape they have, and make something really cool with it. And we'll put the hot glue in here. Add my moss. And then I have another one of these guys. See, this is just kind of almost a little more than half an egg in my little pot. Hold that one in. And then just kind of determine the can move it around a little bit. It's really hot. I'll give it some hold it. It'll melt the styrofoam too, so then you can kind of move it if your hole is not perfectly straight. Have fun with it, guys. I'm quickly came back on because like I said, I didn't want to have the feathers. I was showing you guys, but here I cut out a folded piece of paper, so I have two halves of a wings, but they're exactly matching. And then I'm going to make a tail feather type of thing. I'm just flipping it over so I can get the exact cut that I want. So this is the tail feathers, kind of more even there. So now you can just do whatever kind of paper you want on it, but I prefer the paper myself, so yeah, whatever kind of design you want. And it looks really cute. I just find it a little cuter to have the feathers that way. This time I think actually I'm going to do a quick show of his wings, but I'm going to I'm going to have one wing here. I'm going to have the other wing totally the opposite side, just like that, and I'm going to cover them up with paper napkin this time. Instead of the, I'm just going to use what I have here, and Mod Podge instead of the music paper as last time I did the music paper, and then I just inked the edges, so I'm just going to do the same thing. And this is just cardstock that I have here. I did use the like a cereal box type of thing for a thinner cereal box. But I just happen to have the cardstock sitting right there, so don't have to fuss. And so there's his wings. His wings are green. And his tail feathers are gonna match. So I want the flower in the center, as I did that on purpose, kind of to get that. Have a little bit more. And there we go. Give that a few minutes here to dry. I painted the bottom half because it was cardstock. It was easy to paint the bottom half of the feathers, but you know what? I could just cover them up too, like so, and so you could do whatever you want. Just fold them over top, cover them up. Use your pieces up. Tear them. It's a messy process. The sticky, but that's okay. So I'm going to cut his little feathers to his shape of his tail, and I'm going to just fold over the wings because this is the underside, so that's okay. So I'm going to do that with both wings, and I'll be right back. Alright, his feathers are ready. Yay! This is much thinner than the hot. Ow. This is much thinner than the feathers that my first guy has had. So I'm just going to put them. But we'll see if it works. Kind of want to put it like that because the cardboard works really well. So cardstock might be a little thin, but I didn't even ink the edges. But I'm trying to go quickly over this for you guys. I'll fix that up after. And then he has his wings on. We gotta kind of make them equal little wings, and hopefully we can shape them a little bit and have him kind of flapping. I might actually move his tail feathers up a little higher. Yeah. And then that's how he is. So I hope you guys like that. So here's my character bird. I liked it better than the feathers, and I did darken the wings and the tail feathers, so it's very cute. So now Skypey's got a friend. Yay! And yeah, I'm gonna grab some puffy paint just a second here and knock things over, because now I decided that I want to put a little black dot for eyes. Might have been too much. There we go. So little black dots on the whites of the eyes. And that is it. That's it for my little projects. I hope you guys use up some of your styrofoam spheres and eggs and give this project a try and play with it and make some cute little things. Thanks guys for watching. Talk to you later, and I hope you guys enjoy this challenge and give it a try.